There's a question that I'm asked quite frequently from people asking, why is it that I'm having such a hard time living for God? Why is it that I'm having such a hard time making the right decisions? Why do I keep stumbling into the same habits of sin? Well, Paul had that same question, and I'm going to take you there. In Romans chapter 7, Paul is explaining the law of the Spirit and the law of sin. He says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold under sin. For I do not understand my own actions. For I do not do what I want, but I do everything that I hate. Now, if I do not do what I want, I agree that the law is good. So now it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me. For I know that nothing good dwells within me, that is, in my flesh. For I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. Now, if I do what I do not want, it is no longer I who do it, but the sin that dwells in me. So I find it to be a law that when I want to do right, evil lies at hand. For I delight in the law of God in my inner being, but I see in my members another law, waging war against the law of my mind and making me captive to the law of sin that dwells in my members. What a wretched man that I am! Who will deliver me from this body of death?" Just as Paul mentioned, your flesh and your spirit are contrary to one another. Your flesh will always tell you to go this way. Your spirit will always tell you to go this way. They'll always clash like water and oil. And this flesh that you have is what gives you the desire to do sinful things. But the Bible says when you walk in the Spirit, you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. When you walk in the Spirit, you'll be led of the Spirit. If you walk in the flesh, you'll walk in the flesh and you'll eat the fruits thereof. With every decision you make, you're either going to gratify your flesh or you're going to gratify your spirit. Now, if you gratify your flesh, your spirit's going to know what it should be doing, but your fleshly desire is going to dominate because it isn't disciplined. So you have to make that decision to discipline your flesh, to starve your flesh so that you can walk in the Spirit. The Bible says to be renewed by the transforming of your mind. This has to be renewed for this to be renewed. And once this is renewed, your heart posture towards God will be changed and it will no longer become a chore. You'll want to walk in the Spirit. You'll want to be connected to God. Your flesh is what wants you to fornicate, masturbate, have sex, get high, drink, listen to secular music, but you have to starve your flesh of what it desires. It's a daily discipline, and once you learn discipline, your mind will be transformed and you will no longer desire what your flesh wants you to do.